Hello, everyone, and this is another episode of Family Wealth and Other Musings, and I am your host, Becky Easton. And today I want to talk a little bit about some of the common myths about business entities. So keep in mind that unless we have an agreement to that effect, I'm not your lawyer. None of this is legal or business or tax or otherwise advice related to your unique situation. So setting up the right legal structure for your business can seem like a boring detail that you don't need to spend much time on. But in reality, selecting the right entity for your company is one of the most critical decisions that you can make as a business owner. And with that said, there are a few myths surrounding business entities, and this can cause confusion and lead to costly mistakes. So to this end, here are 4 of the most popular myths about business entities and how you can avoid falling for them. Myth number 1 is that small businesses don't need a business entity. While it is possible to run a business without a business entity, doing so puts you and everything you own at risk. Without the proper entity set up, there's no separation between your personal and business assets. So your personal assets are at risk in the event your business should get into serious debt or get hit with a lawsuit. So, for example, if your company is structured as a sole proprietorship or as a general partnership and you go out of business, your business creditors come after your personal assets to pay off your business debts. And the same is true if your business is ever sued. By structuring your business as a limited liability company or a corporation, you can shield your personal assets from liabilities incurred by your business. And when properly set up and maintained, structures like this establish your company as a separate legal entity distinct from you as an individual, which prevents you from being held personally liable for the company's debts or legal disputes. Myth number 2, there is no need to set up an entity for your business until it's profitable. So it may seem like a good idea to delay in setting up your business entity until you are actually earning revenue or even making a profit. But in reality, you should have your entity in place from the very start. And this is true not only because liability can arise well before you're profitable, but also because incorporating your business is likely to lead to even more income and profit. Having the proper entity in place in the early stages allows you to receive credit in your business's name and raise money from investors. Not to mention, the act of incorporating itself shows that you take your company seriously, which can inspire increased interest from customers, vendors, and financial backers. Myth number 3 is that a corporate entity offers absolute liability protection. When properly created and maintained, entities like an LLC or corporation can shield your personal assets from creditors, lawsuits, and other liabilities incurred by your business. However, the protection offered by those entities is not absolute. And in fact, there are a number of circumstances in which a creditor can come after your personal assets to settle a claim against your business. And when this has happened, it's known as piercing the corporate veil. While the corporate veil can be pierced if you commit fraud or negligence, in most cases it happens due to innocent mistakes. These errors can include inadvertently mixing your personal and business finances, personally signing off on a business loan, or failing to abide by administrative formalities. And while a corporate entity can protect your personal assets from liability, these legal structures do not offer any protection for your business assets. To safeguard your business assets, you'll need to invest in the proper business insurance, which is always your first line of defense. Myth number 4 is that incorporating in Delaware or Nevada is always best. So you may have been told, maybe even by another lawyer, that establishing your corporate entity in either Delaware or Nevada is your best bet for tax purposes. But for most businesses, incorporating in these states is completely unnecessary and may even cost your company in the long run. Although many companies do incorporate in these states, it's for very specific reasons, such as to raise investment capital or take advantage of favorable security laws to go public. However, unless you're actually doing business in these two states, your company isn't going to receive any significant tax benefits or additional asset protection by incorporating there. And while Nevada and Delaware do not have state, personal, or corporate income taxes, that doesn't mean your business will avoid state-level taxes entirely. And the fact is, if you're a resident of or doing business in a state that has income taxes, you must still pay these taxes, even if you're incorporated elsewhere. Plus, if you incorporate outside of the state where you live or conduct business, you must file as a foreign registrant in your home state. Such double filings can result in extra filing fees and administrative expenses that make out-of-state incorporation financially unfeasible. However, there are instances where it might make sense to set up your business entity in states like Delaware or Nevada, or even Wyoming or South Dakota. A family business lawyer or personal family lawyer will be able to point you in the right direction for establishing your entity and support in navigating the requirements for maintaining the entity in each state that you do business in. Setting up an entity for your business isn't something that you want to take lightly or try to do all on your own. There's honestly just far too much at stake. Be sure that you're looking for a personal family lawyer or family business lawyer who can offer you trusted advice on the legal entity that's most advantageous for your business, while also ensuring that your entity is properly set up with all of the necessary agreements and other resources in place. You also want to look for someone who can help provide you with a variety of business systems, which will not only make your operation more efficient, but also establish a clearer separation between your business and personal finances, which is a vital part of maintaining your entity's liability protection. Also, you want to be sure that you're working with someone who can make sure that you're in full compliance with the various state laws and administrative formalities required to maintain your entity and safeguard your personal assets. If you find that this is something that you would like to discuss further and you live in Arizona or Colorado, you can reach out and schedule a 15-minute call with me by calling my front desk at 480-999-4455, or you can hop directly on my calendar by going to bit.ly/call Easton Law. That's bit.ly/call Easton Law. This has been another episode of Family Wealth and Other Musings, and I'm your host, Becky Easton, and I want to thank you again so much for showing up today and listening in. We'll talk to you tomorrow.